What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Master Barber Tiff, and we're going to part our hair in 4 sections. We're going to be doing these 0 haircuts today, which is the blunt cut. We're going to start off by wetting our hair down, making sure our hair is very saturated with the water, combing it through, making sure everything is even. So when we start our cut, everything can be precise. Now, I started off with some shears, and my shears were completely dull, so it was very hard for me to complete the cuts. So I had to get some house scissors and use those, unfortunately, until I get my shears. And for the blunt cut, we start in the middle to make sure that we go to the edges to make sure everything is precise. So I went ahead and saturated the second section, made me a subsection, and then I started in the middle with my first cut. And you're gonna see me use the shears and see that they did not work. Alright, so we're gonna try with these shears, and they clearly are very, very dull. But I made my first cut with it, so I wanted to go ahead and keep it on here because that is what started my guide. So I follow my guide by making my second subsection and just lining it up, starting with the middle, then going towards the outer corner, making sure the mannequin's head is tilted forward a little bit so that it can create the balance that we're needing. And I just continue that all the way up, cross-checking it by making sure my line is straight in the back. Just pulling it down every now and then just to make sure that everything is straight. Trying to get the hang of holding the scissors, keeping them in my hand, and holding the comb in my hand at the same time was really a challenge. But the more work and practice that I do, I feel like I'll get better. But it was definitely a challenge, especially with these big old house scissors. But I think it came out pretty well, and I got the job done for the most part. And that was my 0 degree blunt cut. For our 180-degree cut, we're going to start in the middle, pulling the hair outwards in a box and just cutting at a diagonal, which was really hard because the hair is extremely long and very fine. So I'm going to continue pulling the hair out, pulling out small sections, creating subsections in our four box sections, making sure that we're following our guide. On the right side, our fingers will be pointed down, and on the left side, we'll have our fingers pointed up so that we can see our subsections a little bit better. And we're just gonna keep cutting at a diagonal, making sure that once we get towards the edges by the ear, we are making sure that we're pulling it back in a box-like shape so that we can keep our layered cut in the way that we're wanting it to go. And on our zipper side, we're going to do, on the opposite side, we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to make sure that we're holding our fingers upward so that we can see our subsections. Our fingers are going to be pointing towards the sky. This was a very challenging haircut for me, and the more I did it, the more I was like, okay, I see what I'm doing wrong. And I tried to fix that. The more I do it, of course, the better I'll get at it. Thank you for watching. See you guys on the next video.